This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shasheena Rolle. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, industrial discord appears to be brewing between a major union and the government. A strike poll was held throughout the country on Friday by the officers mandated to safeguard our port of entry. Joan Davis-Roll has our top story.
It's not a fight, but it's sometimes you got to do what you got to do when you know you're right, when the law is on your side.
Officials of the Bahamas Customs and Immigration Allied Workers Union say they are on a mission to secure their rights. This is 130 members of the union were eligible to participate in Friday's poll. According to President of the union, Shasheena Wilson, and Vice President Rudolph Stubbs, there are three main bones of contention, among them insurance coverage for all employees.
Insurance for the non-uniform personnel. That's in both departments. They don't enjoy the benefits that we do when it comes to the insurance. So that is one of the main reasons why we're here today to have the strike poll. Not what I'm hearing in the media that because we lost a ruling or something that we're having this. But we were supposed to have this from last year. We still had a court case pending, so we waited until the court case was finished before we did it.
When it comes to utility costs, when officers are transferred to the Family Islands, and the Department of Public Service is responsible for the relocation of all personnel in the public service and to ensure that their housing accommodations is taken care of. Therefore, we also file a trade dispute in reference to that because the officers, when they are transferred, they have to find the necessary funds for first and last rent, utilities, etc. And that is a serious burden on those officers. Yes, over the many years, because of overtime, the officers never worried about it. They paid out of their pockets. But now, the game has changed.
Then there's the issue of the transportation allowance.
We know that headquarters is the normal place of work that officers would report to. And then they are sent to the outstations. So therefore, there's a distance that they have to travel. And even after being sent to the outstations, then that means there's a longer distance when they have to travel from home to those outstations. So therefore, they ought to be compensated for transportation mileage allowance because it is allowed there in general orders.
Meanwhile, this top union executive says he would like the union to be treated with respect as they move to protect the rights of its members.
They tell us they want us to come out and negotiate, sit at the table and negotiate. But when we reach the table, to the table, it's almost like they dictate to us. We had an industrial proposal drawn up, made up. They took it, threw it in the garbage, and came back to us with another proposal, which is the BPSU's agreement. Took the name off where it says BPSU, put it Bahamas Customs Immigration Allied Workers Union, and even in some instances, in that same proposal, still had the BPSU name in it. So I guess they didn't want us to have better than what the BPSU was getting.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Now, Labor Minister Shane Gibson says he believes the request for a strike certificate is the union's response to a judge's ruling Friday that overtime is discretionary, contrary to the union's submission that overtime should be converted to wages. Mr. Gibson, who's out of the country attending CARICOM talks, told ZNS News that the union has already been told that requests for salary increases cannot be honored given the state of the economy. Meantime, Minister Gibson says the government has already placed a defense force on standby should the force be needed to man customs and immigration posts. Well, police hauling a 21-year-old Hudson Estates resident before the court today for last Sunday's fatal nightclub shooting. Javaro Davis is accused of the shooting death of Bernardo Rolle of Custard Apple Street, Piners Loop. Davis appeared before Deputy Chief Magistrate Helen Jones in court number 3 on the charge of murder. He was not allowed to enter a plea, and a preliminary inquiry into this matter will commence on the 3rd of June. He was represented by attorney Simeon Brown and was remanded to Her Majesty's Prison in New Providence. Rolle was shot in the upper body at a nightclub on Queens Highway in the early morning hours on Sunday. He died in hospital several hours later. Police reporting a homicide over on the island of Bimini. Reports say shortly before 7 this morning, police were told that a Caucasian male was found lying on the grounds of a hotel in Bimini who appeared lifeless. The man, believed to be a visitor to the island, had an apparent stab wound to the body and was pronounced dead by the doctor from the Bimini clinic. Officers from the Central Detective Unit out of Grand Bahama are in Bimini tonight investigating the fatal stabbing. Police say 4 Caucasian males are in custody, assisting police with the investigation. And also from Bimini, drugs discovered on board a local mail boat on that island. Police tell us that around noon yesterday, officers from the Allenstown station searched the local mail boat docked at South Bimini and found several boxes containing 234 pounds of suspected marijuana. A 20-year-old man is assisting police with the investigation. The street value of the drugs is said to be somewhere around $234,000. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues right after this.